Aloha, and welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Sakamoto Properties, now Coldwell Banker, Kapalua. Really happy to be here today. When I hear Danny Couch, always kind of brings a great smile to me. I could listen to his music all day, every day, because I do love Hawaii.
Absolutely. What a great lead-in. Danny Couch and I love Hawaii.
And today we're here together, my husband, Roy Sakamoto, and myself. And I think, again, it'll be fun to tell you a little more about our affiliation now with Coldwell Banker, which is now, we started just before the pandemic, and then all of this hit. So it's been really a very interesting time for all of us. We're still very excited. We've moved into the space at Kapalua, which we mentioned on the radio the last couple of times, right near Sansei Restaurant, right near the Poorhouse Restaurant, which is fabulous, and it's open right now for dinner, I think, almost every night. But if you Google thepoorhouse.com, you can figure it out. I know they'll do some deliveries, so it's really a great time at Kapalua.
Yeah, you know, it's been a fun transition. I think most people, or many people, know us as Sakamoto Properties, which we were for
40 plus years.
Yeah,
yep.
I guess so. And we actually had discussions with many of the real estate companies in Hawaii, the larger companies that were trying to either buy us out or merge or a combination of the above. And after I think we figured out 15, 16 months of conversations, we decided that Coldwell Banker Island Properties was the best fit for us. And so Roy and Betty Sakamoto took their show on the road and joined Coldwell Banker Island Properties. And then together we took over what used to be Kapalua Realty. So we are now based at the shops at Kapalua.
Right. That has turned out to be perfect for us. We're having a lot of fun modernizing it.
Yeah.
That's a word a little bit hard to get out for some reason. And we've got a number of new people coming on. The easiest way to reach us right now is our cell phones. I'm at Betty Sakamoto, 808-870-7062. Roy is
808-870-7060.
And then, of course, SakamotoProperties.com. And we're getting a lot of people on our website talking to us. We actually have a photo from Pineapple Hill that kind of gives anyone the idea of what's going on weather-wise at Kapalua. So if you go to SakamotoProperties.com, you can actually find the radio show, which a lot of people have done over the years, but you can also get a quick look at the weather. We're trying to get that updated, but it just seems to me every time I try to fix it, it's a little off-kilter, a little something. But one of these days, we're going to make it bigger and better.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been a fun transition. We're excited about it. Business has been absolutely fantastic. It was kind of slow right after the pandemic hit, but I'd say the last 2 months have been kind of bonkers.
It is interesting because I think that one of the things that's happened right now is that interest rates are so low. So almost for anybody, and certainly there's segments of the market, or that could be, the population, that it's no matter what, it's so difficult. So I hate to make this sound like it's all so easy because it's not for everybody. But the interest rates have helped a lot of people who have been thinking about buying and have been renting for a long time. But it is getting some people into the market at a time that you may be able to find a good deal on something, and then the interest rates are so low. I mean, you'll be able to probably end up right at 3% or under. Even points are lower. And I think there's some other qualifying things that are helpful to somebody, from the standpoint of financing today. What's your thought?
I think it's excellent time for buyers to be looking, no matter at what price level, whether you're kind of looking at entry level or high end, middle range. It's a great time. I think we're gradually transitioning to a seller's market. We're not going to see that for a little bit yet. So if you're contemplating buyers, I'd say get off your seat and make an effort. Go talk to a realtor. hopefully somebody with Coldwell Banker Island Properties, and get yourself a professional to help you find. They can help you find a good loan officer to work with, good escrow company, and the whole process is very simple, really.
You know, one of the things on the way over here today, we always, when we're doing the show together, we bring a bunch of things in the car as we're driving from West Maui. And I noticed one of the listings that we started talking about was 1316 Ainakea Road, which is at Waiakule Terrace. A really great listing, listed with Lena Taberna and George Nunes. George Nunes was a classmate or maybe a year older than my daughter, but really great agent. His phone number is 808-385-4665. And I would really think about giving him a call on something like this. Really great property near the cannery, near Front Street. You could walk almost anywhere. And again, it's a nice house.
This is in Lahaina, and Lena's number also is 808-281-4240. Now, they're agents with Coldwell Banker Island Properties. They have no idea we're talking about them on the radio. But this has been on the market for, 1 day. And I printed this out this morning. So far this morning, there was 100 agents that hit on this listing and 144 possible clients that hit on this.
You know,
So-
actually, interesting idea. Somebody out there, call them and tell them that you're hearing about their listing on the radio. I think they'll be stunned by that information.
Yeah.
But it's fun. They're both great people, and I'm sure they know the market really well, that particular market.
Yeah.
Home was built in 71,
Uh-huh.
but again, it appears that it's going to be a good property.
No, what a great price. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, listed at $699,500, so just under $700,000. And some notice is required to view it, but please call Lena or George, and they'll be able to set it up for you to view this. And while we're talking about people not knowing anything about us being on the radio and talking about it, I wanted to give a shout out to Chuck Fleming. Chuck, if you're listening, you're on Bainbridge Island, Washington. Aloha, Chuck, and look forward to seeing you here.
Another quick listing. Hello, Chuck. This is Betty Sakamoto. We haven't talked yet, but one of these days we will. Aloha. Elizabeth's listing, for another really great priced home in West Maui. Elizabeth Quayle, who's Coldwell Banker Kapalua with us, 808-276-6061. But this one, 166 Halelo Street, listed at $1,369,000. That's a really pretty amazing place.
It's in the Kanapali Vista subdivision, which is the first subdivision, first upper level subdivision in the Kanapali Resort, and fronts right on the golf course, on the Kai course at Kanapali. And this was built in 1973. It's a 3-bedroom, 4-bath, and it's just under 2,000 square feet.
That was, remember, one of the early subdivisions, obviously. But who was it that was living there? Because we had met him, a celebrity. He was really such a nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh well, it's very embarrassing.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
but it really one of the early subdivisions. But you walk right down, you cross the road. There's a light there, and you're pretty quickly on Kanapali Beach. You're not far from Whalers Village.
George something.
Oh, come on.
It'll-
Somebody in this room should know
Yeah.
right now.
It'll
He was
come to us.
Guitar,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Somebody better call us about that.
Okay.
Anyway,
We'll yeah. It'll come to us right after we get off the air.
I think so.
Yeah.
Another thing, as we're talking about the properties, remember everybody was saying, and
George Benson.
George Benson, exactly. Whoa, good.
Yeah. Whoa, that's going way back.
Whoa. Anyway, he was amazing though, and such a nice man. Was raising his
Super
family
guy. Yeah.
there.
Remember, we flew back with him one day, from Los Angeles, and
Yeah.
he entertained the whole airplane.
Yeah, he was really. I mean,
Yeah.
he is great. A great person.
Super guy.
Quite a few years ago now, we were all talking a recession is a terrible thing to waste. And it was almost amusing. But the other day, somebody also got on the idea of that now maybe a pandemic is a terrible thing to waste. So again, hard for so many people, so you hate to make light of it. But it is an interesting time that we can take to pull ourselves together. If we're interested in buying a property, buy a property. If you're interested in selling a property, you've got time to really, at least a lot of us have time to at least use it properly. Use it to not just, although we do too much of that too, the television things and whatnot, but use it in different ways to change your life. And that might be sell a property, buy a property, refinance a property. So I think that we've got a lot of different things here. There was a couple of Southside properties that we were also going to chat about. The one that you and Bob Sella have listed is a great property.
Yeah, it's Bob Sella, Tom Muldoon, and myself have a listing at 4584 McKenna Road. It's just south of the Wailea Resort. It's a huge piece of property. It's 1.1 acres, right on the beach. Older 2-bedroom, 3.5-bath home on it, but over 1 acre on the beach is awesome. And we have it listed at $11,500,000, and very easy to see. It's vacant, so give myself a call, Roy Sakamoto, 808-870-7060, or Tom Muldoon, 808-870-9083, and we can make sure you see this.
A couple of other things that I keep thinking about as we go, since we haven't been on the radio for a while, is that we are now getting people that are checking in with us that didn't even realize we were off. That have said, we've been looking for it. We'll get in the car and we'll try to figure it out. So now we've got more people because of the change in how people listen and watch things, that are going onto our website to find it, or going on to the radio station, KAOI, AM or FM, and you can find ways to get to that also. So if you pay attention to it, we'd really appreciate it. And then call us, 870-7062 or 870-7060, SakamotoProperties.com.
Yeah, and thanks to Meyer Computer, you can watch a video with the audio of our radio shows. So, hit on our website, SakamotoProperties.com, and we're part of the Coldwell Banker Island Properties Network, which incidentally has gotten huge now with takeover on the Big Island. 2 companies have joined Coldwell Banker Island Properties from the Big Island. There's exposure now on Kauai also. So if you're on Maui and listening to us and thinking about Big Island properties or Kauai properties, give us a holler and we'll point you to one of the professionals on Kauai or the Big Island, be able to help you. You know what we haven't talked about?
Voting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the things we talked about driving over here, was that one of the things we'd really like to get everybody thinking about is this is a major election year and we all have to vote. If you're not registered, I believe you still can register, so do it, register, so that you are able, when November comes around, to be able to cast your vote. And we also talked about, because, as couples even, we don't necessarily all agree, but I think we need to take time to talk to our family, to listen to people, to go online, to maybe not get so buried in some of the arguments on television right now. But again, I think it is important, don't you, Roy, if we listen, if we try to understand what's happening. It's very confusing for most of us.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of rhetoric going around, especially on the national stage. But it's important, get out there and vote. And also on the local stage, the county council, there's OHA trustees. I mean, there are a lot of races to pay attention to. And I know none of us probably know all of these candidates, but read about them, especially like I'm not familiar with the OHA candidates. And I've done a lot of reading, good, bad, whatever. that I can read about different candidates and, form your own opinion.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you do have to form your own opinion and, vote no matter who you choose. You've got to think it over. I mean, try to do it as educated as you can and with as many of the things that you want and need. So you really do have to pay attention always. This year, I think, is going to be especially important, even as families, as couples, around the dinner table, on the telephone, whatever it is. Now, don't get into major fights with one another, because I think that's pretty important. But I do think that we're going to all have different opinions. And listen, because you'll learn something from somebody that will either change your mind in one direction or another or solidify your mind. But again, just try to read on stuff. I know so many families are working so hard right now because they're homeschooling their kids and they're working or laid off it's a very difficult moment, but still the election this year is going to be vitally important. So let's all pay attention and try to make some good decisions.
No question. And, on the national political scene, no matter who you back for president, whether it's Mr. Biden or Mr. Trump, please vote. It could come down to Hawaii could be the swing state, where final decisions come down to Hawaii.
Now, everybody laughs at me because I always say that. But, I mean, really think about it. Probably, and whenever I've gotten on this, people kind of laugh at me. But let's just say it could. Even though we don't have that many electoral votes and we're just a small state, but this is the year that it could turn out that Hawaii is the final state, and they're waiting for our votes, and they're waiting for the few electoral votes that we have. It could happen.
It could happen.
Good.
Absolutely.
I'm glad. Someone finally agreed with me.
Yeah.
That's
your
my husband.
Yeah.
My husband, Roy. So, but anyway, we've been together a long time now. We have between us 5 kids, 8 grandkids, kids in college. We've been really involved with Lahainaluna High School and their stadium. Roy's been on the board of Halemakua since his mom was there probably 40 years ago. I can't remember the exact.
Yeah, 30, 35, 40 years.
And they're so amazing. I mean, there's so many things in Maui that we're fortunate to have. And I hope that our life as it is can be that way, continuing, for the next generations.
Absolutely. And, we're not totally a real estate show. We're kind of a community show, if you will. And a lot of charities, a lot of nonprofits out there on Maui need our help. And so do what you can to support them, especially nowadays during this pandemic. A lot of worthwhile charities out there. We support Halemakua. We support the Lahainaluna Foundation. We support various canoe clubs.
Whatever we can.
Whatever we can, yeah. And so we urge all of Maui to support your favorite charities.
One of the other things that we've talked about often during holiday season in supporting charities or in supporting people, sometimes what you really need to do is just support your next door neighbor or the people across the street or the people that have a lot of kids at home right now. And maybe if you were to pick something up for them or help them with the drop-off, anything that you can do, with your mask and social distancing, I think all those things are really important. It could be just maybe dropping off some puzzles or something, some games for the kids, a box of peaches from Costco. Any of the things that you might come up with that might just help your neighbor. And I think those things are as important on a day-to-day basis as all of the charities because they can only do so much. But sometimes just one-on-one, we can help one another. And let's give that a try, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You still got another couple of those properties that we're going to chat about.
I know Gary Moore's advertises on this radio station. Doesn't know we're going to give him a shout-out with one of his listings. But Gary's got a listing at 70 Li'ilani Place in Kihei. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, smaller residence, 864 square feet. It's actually a bank-owned property, and fantastic listed price of $549.9. So if this is something that could interest you, give Gary a call, 808-891-8989, and he'll be able to set up a showing for you.
You know, I'm still have my brain a little bit on this idea of neighbors and what we can do for one another. And you know how we all used to put together like a big bag or a box of books and take them somewhere. And then a while ago, the charities don't really want so many books anymore. But it might be something worth doing, putting together a big bag, a shopping bag full of books, and taking them to one of your neighbors. Because, and again, it could be all different grade levels or what I mentioned before, puzzles. Let's think a little bit on all sides. I mean, we want to sell real estate, I know.
Yeah.
But just, again, I think it is one of those things that can help a lot. Just a bag of books where somebody may just pick one of them that really interests them, but it kind of settles them down for some period of stress. I mean, we all are under, I think, extreme stress today, no matter what your financial situation is. And certainly there's many difficult financial situations. But we need to help one another.
Oh, no question. You know, Maui, I mean, we're a village here, and we've got to support one another, you know. Just take care of each other, stay safe, you know, stay healthy.
This weekend in particular, we talked about it last night, that we would try to do our best this weekend to really not go anywhere. You know, it's going to be a holiday weekend. Let's do our best to stay home, because no matter where you go, it's possible there's going to be more people there than you would like to be there. And, you know, we're all trying to mask up. I have my Lahainaluna High School mask for those who can kind of see this. And I think that the mask is important. The social distancing is important. And I just think for this weekend, it's going to be a little crazy. So let's try our best to take care of one another. And part of that is to just stay home.
Yeah, you stay home and read about your candidates for various offices.
Hey, show that mask.
Well,
this is like the old...
We're on the radio, but...
I know, but it'll go
got
on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got a Cal Rolls Rice mask that I'm holding up for our video. And it's Kokeshi Rice.
Interesting.
Which is distributed by Waihata and Company.
I've never heard of that.
Well, must be good rice.
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to be back the third Thursday of the month, so that's going to come up quickly. But for today, we're kind of getting ready to wind down. This flies by as far as I'm concerned. So again, our messages are, let's all vote. You know, let's think about what we're doing. Let's do our best. But whatever, you got to vote. And whatever moves you into that direction. But really try hard to understand what's happening in our world. It's difficult. No question, it is difficult.
And all of us stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask.
Take care of you and yours, your family, your neighbor's family, whatever you can do to help one another. And check out what you're doing with your real estate. Consider, it depends on a lot of things, but a lot of the local lenders will help you. And we have now an end, and Danny Couch is back with I Love Hawaii. And I do love Hawaii.
Our theme song.
Our theme
Love
song.
Hawaii.
Aloha all.
Aloha.
Talk to you soon.